You know what I do love? I love themes for the PSN. Do you have any?
I have currently a Doctor Who theme.
Awesome. It's like an official one. It's not like a wallpaper you just made.
Yeah, no, it was one I bought from PSN.
That's
Yeah.
cool. Does it
Do you have
change
any?
the icons at all, or?
Yeah, actually, all of the icons for like all of the not the game type stuff, but for like the library and the streaming stuff and like whatever little apps, like the video app and whatever, all those little things that have different icons.
Yeah. You know, I was so. You're gonna ask me if I do have any?
Yeah.
I was so reluctant to download any themes because I didn't at the time. I didn't have a lot of space. I just had the PS4 without any extra storage space.
Okay.
And it felt like, if I'm buying a theme, I want to be able to use it, and I don't want to waste however many kilobytes on a theme or not. But then when I got the expansion, it's just a hard drive that plugs in, but it's like a terabyte. I was like, yeah, I can download anything. And so anytime there's a cool theme, I'll download it. And this month, I don't know if you know or if the world of our viewers knows, but this month is Pride Month, which is important to me because I am part of the LGBT community. And it's a really cool theme. It's got like the triangle and the circle and the square and the X, the PlayStation button faces, and it's got like a rainbow coming off of it, and it's got it in a rainbow typeface for all the players. And it just felt like one of those things like, PlayStation, you didn't have to do that, thank you.
Yeah. Like, that feels good.
Yeah, and I was thinking more about themes, and I wanted to have the briefest of conversations because I'm sure people don't want to listen to us talk without gameplay. But, themes is one of those things that I feel like PlayStation has in their back pocket that they need to pull out more because, we've talked a little bit about trophies and rewards that Sony can do. It costs them nothing to hey, you got this platinum. Here's a download code for a theme of that game that you just platinumed.
Yeah, like that would be so easy. They have all these, and not even maybe just a theme, but they have all these what are those, like your icons?
Yeah.
Like your little...
The avatars.
The avatars, thank you, that's the word. They have a ton of them for like any game you could imagine.
Yeah.
Hi, I platinumed this game, give me something, And
it's, it's a simple little thing. It helps promote that game. I think it's one of those obvious things that I wish that Sony had a better grasp of the back end. And it's not just about trophies, it's the back end of using their store, using their own products to market themselves.
Sure.
So thank you for the theme. I'm in love with it. It was a free theme, great. But keep that up, PlayStation, because you'd get more appreciation and you'd get more happy gamers.
I hate to go into weird personal stuff here, but it's just I have recently decided to start yarn bombing based on events of that day. So for example, wow, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. But in July, I started looking up on Wikipedia they have on this day, and they have a whole list of births, deaths, events, holidays, whatever. So I've started going through those things and saying oh, July 1 is XYZ thing, and maybe making a yarn bomb based on that and putting it. So it's simple advertising for me.
Yeah.
And it's all you have to do is look up what day it is, and they could do that. How hard is it to make a skin? Probably not difficult. Probably, I
would think. I mean, I would think.
I mean, they make a lot of them, it seems, so it probably can't be that hard. You know? Yeah. So anyway.
Well, listen, but before you transition, you mentioned yarn bombing, and I'm not sure that everyone knows what that is. And yarn bombing is so cool. You should totally expound on that.
So yarn bombing is knit or crocheted graffiti. In my case, crochet because I don't knit. But basically, it's a fiber artist will make something, anything, lots of random things. Right now, the big thing is people are making feet that look like they belong to monsters and putting them on the bottoms of benches or
That's cool.
mailboxes or whatever. So yeah, so it's just a little bit of street art. Sometimes it's clandestine, illegal. Other times you get the full blessing of wherever location you're putting it in. But it's just fun little street art made out of yarn.
You know, I've seen some cool yarn bombing. Well, I used to live in NYC, and I saw gaming related. I saw a cool Pac-Man that like went down an entire chain link fence of all the ghosts. I've seen a bunch of Pokemon randomly, Pokeballs. It's just cool to see people kind of like express themselves in this really unique way. That's, you know, it's not like a permanent destructive thing. It's just sort of this cool like, whoosh, we've done something cool to your city.
Right. Yeah, that's why I really like yarn bombing, because it's not like regular spray paint graffiti. It is impermanent, you know, and it doesn't really damage anything. Even the people that put it on trees, I know someone that like wraps trees. They've had arborists, I guess. Those are the people that like do tree things. Tell them that it doesn't harm the tree in any way. So like, you know, even if you have it, leave it on there for a long time, the tree's not going to be damaged or whatever. So you know, people are being responsible about it, and like a lot of yarn bombers, they'll keep an eye, they'll like do their own neighborhood so that they can keep an eye on the stuff to make sure it doesn't get too ratty or doesn't get stolen. I've seen people get their stuff stolen. It's kind of heartbreaking, but anyway, yeah, it's just a fun little way of expressing yourself.
That's awesome. Yay for expressing yourself.
Yeah. So, but as much as I'd love to talk about yarn bombing all day long, we all have limited amounts of time, so let's get to the rest of this. So tell me who you are.
Let's do that. I am Tony, also known as Paradox, and you are?
I am Lauren, and I'm also known as Caustic Sofa.
That's right, and we are the turn-based tactical gamers, and today we're trying to get one trophy in XCom 2.
So XCom 2 is one of the June 2018 PS Plus free downloads for the PS4. So it's XCom 2 and Trials by Fusion are the big name titles that the PS Plus is giving for free for the PS4. For the PS3, if you're still rocking that old school system, the PS Plus games this month are Ghost Recon Future Soldier and Zombie Driver HD, back when from the time when HD was literally a selling point for a game. And for the PS Vita, you can get Atomic Ninjas and Squares. Atomic Ninjas is also available on the PS3.
That's cool. There's a lot of stuff. I will be playing this episode's game, and I will be doing so for the first time blind. Lauren will be joining me as the show's game researcher and guiding me as necessary towards this episode's trophy goal.
Yes, because you see, here at Two Gamers One Trophy, we don't just review the games, we like to add a little extra challenge to ourselves. So for XCOM 2, we're doing a targeted trophy, which means that Tony will be going after one specific trophy, and he is going to try to get the Locked and Loaded trophy, which he gets for upgrading a weapon. That is a bronze level trophy, and it is common, so 73.27% of all the gamers that have played this game have earned that trophy.
We invite all of our live viewers to join us in the Twitch chat. Let us know if you're playing along with me, or tell us your impressions of the game as I play. And for those of us joining later on YouTube, if you like our content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and leave your comments below. So, no more delay, let's agree to these terms and conditions, and now.
No, you have to read them first, Tony.
Oh, no, off screen I definitely read all of the EULAs. I spent all that time doing that.
Dude, I know you do for things, so don't pretend like you don't do that.
I'm gonna go rookie on this. I assume that's not gonna mess up our trophy.
Yes, I totally went rookie, and here you can turn on the subtitles at the bottom. So that if you turn the volume down, you can turn them guys on.
But I'm gonna show you subtitles. Great. Cool, okay. And, you know, I do read a lot of the EULAs. You know, you'd be surprised the stuff that you sign away. I'm just saying.
Well, no, I know I would. And I know that if I took the time to actually read these things, I'm sure I would be shocked. But you know, Tony, like we've said, I have precious little time in my life. And actually, that's not true. Like, I spend probably like 3 hours a day just staring at my phone. So, like...
Well, you know, don't feel bad, because I believe there was a study recently done out of Germany or Switzerland or maybe some other country, I don't know. But the study basically said that if you read all of the EULAs that you typically click through in a month, you would be spending something like 32 hours a month reading EULAs. It's crazy.
That's like a full-time job.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are starting with a cutscene, so this game is clearly necessary for some plot. From what I've sussed out, it seems that there's some sort of alien invasion, and we are not doing it.
So this is a sequel to a game that we have not played on this show, and I haven't played it, and I assume that you have not either.
No.
Right, so from what I can tell, there's been some sort of uprising / alien invasion. There's been an alien invasion, and then this is like the uprising against it, I guess. And yeah, that's basically all you really need to know. Like, society is on like super lockdown, and I guess I don't really.
Yeah. We're definitely futuristic, so I'm guessing this is supposed to be. Is either supposed to be just the future, or maybe the alien technology has advanced our future?
No, it definitely is the future, and when you start playing, you'll see they give you like the time and the date, and it's like 2030 something.
Okay.
And it's kind of interesting, and we'll talk about the trophies more later, but there's a couple trophies that are based on in-game time. So one of them is like, do XYZ thing by July. And I think when you start the game, it's March. So like, you know, in-game it gives you like a certain amount of time to do those things. And I thought that was kind of neat.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
There are a few games that do real time, where you actually have to play a game for months for it to be months that progress. And I'm sure that's not what this is doing, but I do like the idea that it kind of adds this, I don't know, progression in the game just by time passing.
Right. Yeah, and I think part of that is because this is a turn-based game, and so in some of the turns, some of the like missions you have are like you only get X number of turns or whatever. So I think like the whole game is very time-based. Yeah.
Cool. And the cutscenes were good. I liked the animation. It seems like there was time spent on this. It's a little bit Overwatchy in the animation style, less cartoony, but a little bit.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed about like the character design right off the bat is that their outfits are very Mass Effect-y. They're like armor and stuff.
Yeah.
First things first. You need to get out of sight. Grab some
Like,
cover near that wall.
not really their armor, but like later you see one of the characters in like their casual t-shirts or whatever, and I'm like, this looks exactly like the Mass Effect stuff. Like, it's crazy. But yeah. So now you're getting a tutorial on how to move your
Select
dudes
the
or whatever.
highlighted position. Oh, okay. Got it. Oh boy. Now, you told me off camera that you're not a big fan of slow-paced tactical games.
Well, it's not that I'm not a fan of them. I'm not. Don't get me wrong, I don't like them, but it's also that I just am not good at them. I'm not good at like strategy type, like, you know, figure out. Like I said to you, it's basically like a big game of chess, and I'm really not good at that.
Yeah. Now, you see, the thing about chess is that there's a lot you have to know before you even jump into that game. And so my concern is that not playing XCom, I'm going to have a huge disadvantage because this game may rely on that previous knowledge.
Honestly, I don't think that's the case. I think it's really, I do think they do a pretty good job of giving you this tutorial to show you like, this is how the movement works, this is how attacking works and stuff. Like, this tutorial is pretty decent. And then throughout, like, you'll get, like in the first mission I played, there were like different looking alien dudes and they had different abilities, and they did a pretty good job of like having your like the guy who's on your comms explain to you, you know, what they do, what those aliens do or whatever. So I don't think that you're at a disadvantage as far as not having played the first one.
Yeah.
Basically. But, you know, it's still plot-wise would have probably been helpful.
Okay. Now, so this whole like isometric, you move first, then they move. I'm used to this gameplay because can I not go there? Do I have to go all the way?
Yeah, this is the tutorial. So if you just click where it is, I mean, he'll go that way. I think because the aliens are there, they don't want you to like be seen.
Oh, that's interesting.
But I think if
it takes the conceal path, even though the arrow didn't go.
Yeah. Like I said, it doesn't go the way that it just, you click there and it takes them there. So yeah. Anyway, because of Final Fantasy, right?
No, because of Fallout. Did I say Final Fantasy?
Oh,
Sorry,
Fallout. No, I just assumed.
It's a good assumption. I love that.
They may have the numbers.
But no, Fallout, the original 2, you know, back when it was like in the 90s and the PC game, they were isometric, turn-based, you know, and move and then attack, and then the monster would get a chance to attack you, and it was very slow-paced, but it was also very brutal. And I wonder, because it gives you all the time in the world to think about what you're going to do, that this game is going to be brutal.
We're not out of the woods yet. We need to take out the
I mean, yeah, I had a lot of issues with this game.
Do it.
Mostly because I'm not good at this style. This isn't a game that I would choose to play on my own. But also just because of like the camera angles and like just a lot of weird little things I didn't really like.
I hear you. This one says Overwatch. I'll go down, spare a weapon. That was cool. They clearly spent the time on animations.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and you know, for me, I think it's cool. I think that's a great icing to the cake. I just hope the cake itself tastes good too.
Right.
I can see you now.
Yeah, that's an important
shoot first and celebrate later. No problem.
So yeah, go for it.
Did you ever play Wasteland? Did you hear about Wasteland?
No.
So Wasteland is similar to this. It's by the same guy who created the original Fallouts. It's isometric, it's turn-based. The art style and sort of the modern sensibilities very much remind me of Wasteland. And it's actually Wasteland 2, it's the new one. It's worth checking out for anyone who watches this episode, who loves this game, then play this game, but then also consider Wasteland 2.
Okay. Good little heads up there, thanks. But let's talk a little bit more about this game while you're learning how to play it. So it was developed by Firaxis Games. That's weird. Anyway, they did the Civilization series and obviously this XCom series.
You still keeping score, right?
And it was published by 2K Gamers, who did such famous games as BioShock, Borderlands, Civilization, Mafia, Duke Nukem, and this series. It was released in... Yeah, you know, you probably never heard of them. It was released in North America on September 27, 2016, so it's not even 2 years old. And it's also available on the Xbox One and the PC and Mac.
You can't take Watch your flanks.
So I'm in the tutorial and I have lost my teammate. I'm hoping that was scripted and I'm not just this bad. If I am this bad,
no,
it's
this
fine.
whole thing is scripted. Yeah.
Press the advantage
Go
before
bad.
they
Why
get
did she
around
have to go?
I don't know. I feel like most of these characters are pretty disposable. I think there's two that are probably meant to be like the main dudes. But yeah, this whole opening level is also.
So, you know, big names behind this game. XCom is a game that I've heard of. I've never played, and there's no particular reason. I just think I've heard tons of games out there. I just never played it.
Sure.
So, you know, there's a lot of money, I'm assuming, behind this. So let's see. Let's see what the big deal is.
Yeah, and you can tell, I mean, just from the graphics and stuff, you can tell that they put some effort into this game. Yeah. You know, it's not like they just like...
Central, reporting in.
You're late. What have you been doing down there?
So, yeah.
Oh, they're the aliens.
Yeah.
What the hell are these things?
Yeah, they're actually, if you... They're like human-alien hybrid. They're not the actual aliens.
Okay, that's older.
We've all heard rumors.
Yeah.
I just never believed it was true.
No one wanted to.
That's cool though, because obviously they want to go for a diversity of enemy types. So it's cool that they, you know.
Let's move.
That's cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and from what I can tell, like in the first game, I think it was mostly just the aliens that you were fighting against. And now they've got this new, like, different kind of enemy.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Nice.
I'm on it.
Have we played
your eyes
any
peeled.
games on the
Fire
show
on anything that moves.
with alien invasion themes before? I can't remember.
That's
Main
a
entrance
good
is
question.
clear. We need to move on the package.
So
I don't think so either. I'm trying to.
I can't really remember what we've played.
So I have to. It's interesting that they're forcing me that I can't explore, which is fine. Ooh. It's cool. I'm enjoying. I'm
Three, you're
enjoying.
up.
Hold up. You should check that
There
body
we
for
go.
salvageable
There's the
gear. We need anything we can
weapons
get
I
at
can
this
get.
point. Better move fast, though. I've heard rumors Advent...
Yeah, I don't think there are. Which is interesting because alien invasion is kind of a very common theme.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking. Well, I'm thinking, you know, The Last of Us. Well, that was more of a virus, not alien. Okay, I'm thinking of Resistance, that series.
Yeah. I would say Ratchet and Clank is about invading aliens.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying
In a
to blow
roundabout
away.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're getting nervous. Now I know where in the
I would
right
argue it's
place.
sillier.
Oh yeah. I mean, and that's a very vague description. It doesn't accurately describe the actual plot. It's just like there are aliens and they do invade other places. Yeah, that's fair.
Cool.
Well done.
I mean, I'm liking the,
Position. Just go.
what is that future movie from the 90s or the 80s with Sylvester Stallone and Sandra Bullock?
Oh my gosh.
He was a cop, or they were cops.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Let me see. I'm gonna Google it now because I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the title of it.
I mean, I'm totally, like, seeing that here. I mean, that's...
Demolition Man.
Yes. Does
Demolition
this
Man?
remind you
Yeah.
of that?
You know, I've never seen it.
Wow.
So I'll just say yes.
Let's go with yes. What I missed is that future car. Okay. Oh, I'm out of weapon. No.
Going for the door.
Alright, so my weapon overheats. Interesting. This is what learning alongside me sounds like.
You should be able to cut right through the door's security protocols. They were never expecting
Oh,
anyone
I've
to
got
get
the
this
Avengers
close.
on my team. That should be helpful. I can lock doors. Cool. Let's do it. Let's unlock a door. Unlock. Do it. Do it. How do we do it? There we go. Hack. She's just holding an iPad up. That's not hacking.
I know.
Alright.
She's like, let me just click a button.
How do I can't go to the other one. Oh, choose a reward. Alright. Man, I'm sorry. So you complete immunity, next to attacks. You can oh, let's do immunity. Beginning hack. Success. Did I get the thing? Probably not.
Good. Let's go.
No, you didn't get the bonus.
You're not too delayed from me, by the way.
Yeah, this time we're doing okay. My internet is cooperating a little bit.
Hey, administrative note. We may be switching back to our normal setup if internet does happen on your end. That's exciting.
Yeah, maybe as early as July if they get this all worked out.
You know, the big
That'll be
concern was that, you know, I played more games than you, at least I have, and so, you know, I've platinumed, or at least gotten trophies in some games, and Beyond Two Souls, which was last month, one of last month's titles,
Yeah.
we couldn't play it because I'd already platinumed it.
Next time.
Right, yeah, we had a bit of a... We had to do a switcheroo on that, because... Yeah, you'd already gotten all the trophies, but I couldn't play it because my internet just like randomly decides to not work sometimes, and we didn't want to run the risk of it cutting out or whatever while we were playing it. So
Yeah.
yeah. But we can always go back to it. I mean, I know, for example, this month there's only 2 games for the PS4, so you know the other 2 Thursdays, or yeah, 2, 3, however many weeks there are this month, we can we can play 2. Yeah, we can still go back and play some others. Because that we know, I know we missed a lot of April titles, so we could just go back and play something from April.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this game here.
You have to get out of there.
We need another exit.
So let me read you the description of this game.
Okay.
Earth has changed and is now under alien rule. Facing impossible odds, you must rebuild XCom and ignite a global resistance to reclaim our world and save humanity. So basically, once you get through the tutorial, you'll see you're basically like in a giant ship in space. Well, maybe like orbiting Earth, I guess? I don't know. Okay. But, so you basically go from place to place on the Earth to like liberate different things and you know, there's 5 different soldier classes and they each have their own skill set and whatever, blah blah blah, different weaponry, yada yada. So it's basically like a turn-based RPG because you can like upgrade the people and like whatever.
Almost there. Stay focused.
I like that. You know, there was a time in maybe 7, 8 years ago when every single game was being touted as, oh, this has, you know, elements of an RPG in it. The funny thing was like, you know, everything was build up skill points, use those skill points, and, you level up. Even if it wasn't an RPG game, it was just an action-based game. And I take it for granted now because it really is part of every game now. Just like now, a lot of games are open world, and a lot of games are, you know, what is it called? Games for services. So it's just interesting how things develop and we take for granted as just part of the mainstream.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're definitely right, because I feel like if it were just like your guy levels up and you don't really have any option as to what kind of things he can do or whatever, then I feel like that's not as interesting. Or I don't feel that way. I think gamers in general will feel that way. And I didn't really get far enough in this game to know whether or not you can like choose different things. I feel like you can. It does say in the description they all have different skill trees, but I know that there's like promotions, like they level up and you can go in and like they earn new skills, but I didn't get to the point to see if you could like pick skills.
Yeah. Well, I sacrificed 2 named characters in order to get a tutorial, so worth it.
The thing is, all of the characters have names. All of your like grunt soldiers have names. It doesn't mean anything.
Oh man, is this game like doing the Austin Powers joke where some grunt person dies and you have to like watch their family life? Terrible. I love it. I love that the game, it feels like they're saying, hey, emotionally invest as much as you want to into its characters, but they could die and that will be traumatic.
Yeah, and not just emotionally invest, but like invest your resources in them as well, you know, because you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
So I should point out, you probably just saw, I did get a trophy. That trophy is called First Blood.
Yes. Which is the trophy that you earn for finishing the tutorial level.
Oh, good. So this challenge, we're not doing a one and done, so I will keep playing until I get the trophy that you've chosen for me, which is again for upgrading a weapon?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And I will preface this, viewers, by saying that I, again, because of internet reasons, was unable to play this game for very long because, you know, you can start a game when it's like partially downloaded, but you can't get very far into it. So I was unable to get real. I was able to do this tutorial level and then the next mission, but like past that I couldn't. So I don't know if the trophy I've chosen is even doable in the amount of time we've set aside for this game, but we're certainly going to give it a go.
Cool. I like the mystery.
readings are
Yeah,
getting really
it's pretty good, right?
erratic.
Have you played
These
Half-Life?
implants were never designed to be removed.
No.
We are risking
So
severe
Half-Life
Plan B
is
here,
this
people. Do it.
storm of a game that everyone loved. It changed the genre of that type of I don't say first-person shooter, but kind of a scripted, single player, big events are happening and you're running through the world. And the way they're doing this clear setup as, hey, here's what happened in the time between 1 and 2. Your character has been in stasis, and here are some flashes of what his life were like. It reminds me of how Half-Life 2 started, with the protagonist essentially being like, listen, things have changed. Let's catch you up, and let's go, hero.
Welcome back.
That's neat. I like that they're doing that. Like, and then even for people like us who haven't played the first one, it's like, here's what you missed.
Yeah. That's such a challenge, and not just in video games. It's a challenge in every form of media where you want to have enough respect for people who are continuing this journey to appreciate the fact that you're building on something that's already been established, but without alienating those people who are just jumping in.
Was buried halfway into your skull.
Yeah, and I
Lost a lot
feel
of good
like,
soldiers looking for you over the
like
years.
for example, all the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
I feel like
Almost
those
gave up hope you were
movies.
still out there.
I feel like they do.
Acted on the intel as soon as I got
They
word.
don't give two shits if you've seen the other ones or
sure
not.
what you
Like
remember.
they really don't. And they don't,
Changed.
like, to an extent
best
they
I could,
sort of
but the last
explain a
20
little bit,
years-
but they're really just like,
Been tough without you.
here's a movie with a fun
You feel like
action, and
catching
it
up.
doesn't matter what you
Shen
know
has
or
the
don't know,
archive up and
and
running
sorry
on
if you
your
don't know it, but here's the movie!
Right. We're moving on.
see
You know it or you
Dr.
don't.
Yeah,
Ready.
like,
There's some
yeah,
things you
we
should
don't
know.
care. Just watch this.
We better explain.
There's an
Which
extra
kind of sucks, but whatever.
It's
There's an
damn
extra
good to
challenge
have
with
you
video
back.
games in that, typically a video game will be like, hello, hero, please spend the next 60 hours building skills and learning things and collecting weapons or orbs of whatever.
Right.
Commander,
And,
to the
you'll beat the
research
game, essentially a god, and, and then you've won. And then you come back to the second game, if you're continuing the same character, it's like, oh, we have to explain why this person is starting from zero, or why they are now underpowered compared to their new challenges. And that's difficult. And if you remember back in the Nintendo 64 days, when they really did continue like the same characters, like Banjo-Kazooie, they had to address it. And there were so many different ways that they did, and I just remember the Banjo-Kazooie example because they do it in this tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, they got fat over the summer and now they forgot everything. Or Ratchet and Clank, the same thing, like, they just forgot all of their skills and they have to relearn them.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think in
access to the
I've never played Banjo-Kazooie, but I assume those games, they don't take themselves that seriously. Like, they're kind of jokey games, and so they can sort of do that wink and nod, like the, sort of sly smile, like, we know you know.
Right.
Like, yeah. But for something like, what series I think did a pretty good job?
What?
Mass Effect, because in those games, like from 1 to 2, whatever squad, or especially from 2 to 3, because at the end of 2, if you don't do the mission right, like if you don't have the loyalty of the entire team, some of the characters die, and the choices that you make even in the first one, based on like which teammate you sacrifice or whatever, that affects your decisions in the later games. And so I think that they do a really nice job of having like the through line of your gameplay throughout all of them. And that, I mean, you are sort of back at square one as far as like weapon upgrades and that sort of thing, but I feel like that's not so important as the plot.
Yeah.
Commander, to the armory.
So I'm playing Fallout Shelter now, which is, for those who
Yeah.
play Fallout Shelter, would be amused at that reference. I enjoy this. I enjoy that I have this base that I can zoom in and out of. That's cool.
Yeah. You can go from room to room, see what's happening,
Yeah.
check up on your little dudes, make sure they're all happy.
Yeah, I feel like this is a little unfair because this Avenger, I'll call her Scarlet Witch, is the only survivor. So promoting her seems like, well, you're literally the only person I have, so promote.
Yeah.
The Ranger serves
Well,
as our
she also did
primary
like the most
reconnaissance
combat stuff, so of
capable
course she
moving
gets promotion. And
independently
I
in
also feel like
concealment while engaging
Central,
enemies
the
at
Central
close
dude,
range.
the other guy that was there, I think he's like the guy. Like he's like the shepherd of this game.
Gotcha.
So like,
I had promoted her and given her a sword, which, considering I saw laser weapons earlier, seems like a bit of a downgrade, but that's okay.
yeah, you know, it's so weird. It's like, here, take this broadsword and melee the shit out of the dude. It's like, what? I have a fucking giant ass gun. Why would I not just shoot them? But like, it's super effective in the close range. Well, so is this giant gun that I have. Like,
Exactly.
what?
It's not like guns don't work in the short range.
Attention.
Oh no, you're right in front of me. I guess I should put this laser shotgun away and get my machete out.
Ceremonious. But we've got
So silly.
a local
And you see
resistance
later,
cell
like,
just
there's a
located this
frickin',
hybrid
like,
magnetic
one of the
power
people, one of
converter
the
that Shen was
classes of
pushing
people,
us
I
to
guess, is
find.
like sniper.
They tracked the device
Or like
to a
sharpshooter.
nearby advent
So
convoy
she's a
and
sniper,
attempted to
but
take
then
it down.
she also has like, I guess this one
If we
makes
can
more
bring
sense.
this
She has a pistol
converter back in one
that
piece,
she's like,
we might
you know,
actually get
got
this
marksmanship
place up and
skills
running.
in. So yeah,
Give
that
the
makes
aliens
sense
a
to do in
real
like
war
close
for a
range,
change.
because you don't want to shoot a sniper rifle when the guy's like
Squad
3
is
feet
prepped
from
and
you.
ready to launch
But-
on your order, Commander.
But why would I melee
give
when
the
I have this
word.
gun that clearly does way more damage?
Yeah, that's a great point. You're totally
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking over my team, a bunch of nobodies, and the person I promoted. Looks good. Ooh, bazooka? No, maybe Babuza. A little different. I'm gonna call you Bazooka, Babuza, because I'm racist. Okay, looks good, team. So I want to go back because we were talking a little bit about, you know, starting a second game, and
Yeah.
why do you not have your powers anymore? Let's talk a little bit about God of War, because
Okay.
everyone's still playing it. I remember from the PS2 days when we had God of War 1, where he literally kills gods and gets their powers.
Yep.
I mean, that's like the
Yep.
whole freaking concept. And in the
Yeah.
second game, it's kind of like, what do we do with that? And it's a much more serious game. And in the opening to that game, he gets his powers taken away from him. You actually start with all the power sets that you had in the first game. And at the end of that first mission, you get it taken away from you, I believe, by Zeus? I believe he just takes them all away. And it was this great moment that's like, nice. It's like, it feels like no time has passed between 1 and 2, and it feels like something traumatic has happened. That was cool. And in the new one, in the new God of War, you know, I don't want to spoil anybody, but he's an old man. And so I can totally see why he would have lost, you know, from the end of that
Sure.
to being an old man.
Yeah, that's really good. That's interesting. Because I had played the first one a little bit, but I didn't know that at the beginning of the second one, you start off with full powers and then you lose them. That's actually quite clever. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So, you know,
You know, because yeah,
it's a challenge.
So-
And you don't have to do that in most other media.
right. Yeah, you don't have to like. I think a lot of it is because, you know, like you said, you spend 60 or so hours pouring yourself into these things, and they have a bigger onus of like feeling like they've brought you along for the ride,
Getting a fix
Yeah.
on the device,
You
but
know,
it looks like it may have been
and like,
damaged
you
during
know,
the
capturing
fight.
your attention.
Energy readings are going crazy. I'm guessing we don't have much time before it explodes.
So, I know we're only 30 minutes in, but I want to say my
Yeah.
initial impressions
Shen's
are
working on a way to
there's a
save
lot of
lives,
information I need to know in order
provided
to
we
play
can
this
get
game.
close enough
Which,
to access
Yes.
I'm glad there's a tutorial, I'm glad they're baby stepping me through this. But I feel like it is towards an end. I am excited about... First of all, I'm kind of nervous. This is my first mission. But I'm excited.
Confirmed.
I'm excited at everything they're setting up because I know there's something cool coming, and that's cool. I'm down for it, is what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and here's the cool thing about this game. So when I first started playing it, I was on
Stepping off.
not the rookie level. I was it you know automatically starts you at the one up from rookie, and I got to this point and I failed this mission because I am not great at this game, and I was like, oh, let me go back and start.
Time to motor.
And start, you know, over with like on the lower level. So I did that. And this mission here, the map, and I think this happens every time you load a mission because it's randomized, the map looked entirely different. It was different climate. It was different, like there were different like places to take cover. Even like where the aliens were and what they were doing, it was like everything was entirely different, and I couldn't tell if that was because I was on a different difficulty or if it was just because that's how the game does it. It just sort of randomizes the stuff.
Yeah.
And now looking at yours, it's sort of more similar to how my first one was. The climate, like the territory is different, like they're
moving out.
but like it's basically the same, and I just think that's really neat that these things get randomized, because even for me the name of the mission was different. And both times even, and I think yours is even different to mine. So I think it's neat that each time you play it's sort of like a new adventure.
I like that it's procedurally generated. That's cool. It also means that you can't, you honestly have to learn how to play the game. You can't just like try a whole bunch of things and then go, oh, okay, well I finally learned the thing that I had to do, and just do that exactly.
Yeah, it's not like Bloodborne where you have to like memorize the pattern of the people that are walking in order to like not die a million times like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much like you have to learn the skill set rather than just memorizing a level.
Yeah. Alright, so I'm having a little bit of difficulty figuring out how to get inside this truck, which is comical because it's clearly just me not understanding the mechanic.
Do you need to get inside the truck though, or you just want to?
Well, I think that's the converter that's sitting right there.
No, I think that the converter is it's green. It's green.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on like there's a train somewhere.
Oh my gosh, that's the whole thing. Okay, right. Got it. Wow, that was a waste of my time. All right. Thank you, researcher. You have proven immensely helpful once again.
At this one time.
Moving out.
Okay, so I'm out of here. That was a waste of time. That's unfortunate. Let's go there.
Solid copy.
You know, and it is
The
okay.
Advent
The aliens.
officers
That's
seem
not
more
good.
capable than the grunts. We're not sure whether to chalk it up to training or stricter mind control.
Commander, we have a chance to do some serious damage here. Before jumping into combat, let's make sure we make the most of our
So,
advantage.
other than our
You should
show
be able
games,
to hack
are you
into
playing
that
anything?
thing's safety protocols and stabilize it. Shed is uploading the
Yeah,
fix
just
right now.
Overwatch every now and then. And they still have their anniversary event going on. I've been playing that a little bit. But no, still just Overwatch. It's always Overwatch. You can always just assume I'm playing Overwatch. What about you? Have you been playing anything else?
You know, I'm finally moved into my place. I finally have
Yeah.
internet. All these are great things. And the only thing that I have done is I downloaded and played a little bit of that Qbert Reloaded game.
Oh yeah.
Because as a kid, I was a big Qbert fan, so I was kind of
Oh
excited
yeah, I
about
loved
that.
Qbert when I was younger.
And I just started it up, and I wanted to make sure I didn't get any trophies. I didn't want to, in case we jump into it. But
Yeah.
God, do I remember that game differently? Like, even just, because I played the original cabinet version of it. Even just the colors and the sounds, I'm like, gosh, I remember this being much more, I don't know, vibrant.
Huh.
Good to go.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I loved Qbert when I was a kid, but the version that I had was for the Game Boy, and that was not in color because it was the Game Boy.
Yeah.
So I feel like playing this new version for me is going to be a whole new world because color. Like, what is color?
Understood. Moving out.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna try and attack. So here we go.
Okay.
Oh boy, this
So,
is gonna be a mistake if it's not gonna kill him. So I need
So
to
here's
back
the
up.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they tell you one of the tactics they tell you to sort of try out is to just stay hidden for as long as possible, and then like, you know, sort of ambush them from hiding or whatever. So like, you know, not to like let yourself
Although
be
they
seen.
bear
or
some
whatever.
resemblance to the sectoids
Yeah,
first
that's a good
encountered
strategy.
during the invasion,
You know,
their genetic structure now includes human
This may be a good opportunity
Oh, I
to
didn't
talk
even
They are
about
stronger than ever.
that there was an original game, and of course now we have a sequel. Which typically what happens is there's some elements of the original that everyone loves. Please make another, make the exact same game, tweak the graphics. That's what we want as the gamers. But there's typically something that the developers are like, you know, we wish we could have done this in the first one, or you know, we really wanted to try out this other mode, and it would be interesting to know, and we can't because you know both haven't played this. It would be interesting to know what games, what aspects have changed from one to the next.
Yeah, like what elements did they modify? What kind of like... Yeah, that's definitely a good point. And if anybody out there who's watching or whatever has played the original one, please leave a comment or whatever and let us know. Because I'm never going to go back and play the first one because this is not my cup of tea. But I would be interested to see what they modified or, you know, removed or whatever from.
Yeah, me too.
Just because this seems so basic, this play style, but like they do make it more interesting with like the, I don't know, character developing stuff like the.
Well, I'm sure it feels a lot different when there's a time limit. I feel like in these early missions, it's probably more about like just figure out what you're gonna do.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Well, this is interesting because this is the first mission, and you have a turn. It's like, hey, this thing's gonna explode in 4 turns.
Moving out.
But yeah, I guess that's true.
The next mission didn't have that, and I was able to sort of plan it out a little bit better. This one I felt a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And eventually I just got to the point where I was like, all right, I'm gonna go through the red parts because, you know, I'll put this guy on Overwatch mode so that he can like shoot if they come at us, but somebody has to breach this. Somebody has to.
Time here. If we don't stabilize the
that was my
soon,
strategy.
I don't think anybody's going
Eventually.
home today.
So the red, of course, is they automatically will see you.
Yes.
Okay. Huh. So I think they'll see me there too. Can't tell. Yeah, they're gonna see me. Who am I even talking about? There's one guy there. Oof, this is stressful. Are they going to see me right there? Probably, because I have these blue shields. There's a red shield here, so I don't know what a red shield means.
Yeah, I couldn't figure that out either.
You know what? Let's try it. Let's see.
Position confirmed.
I think as long as you don't walk through one of the red squares, you're fine.
Got it.
Maybe. I don't know.
I have a grenade. I could grenade them.
I'm on it.
Ooh, wait.
Position confirmed.
So,
Moving
let's
to
talk a little bit
Overwatch.
about the trophies in this game, because I was actually surprised. Well, maybe not. So,
Go on.
this game has, I think 3 DLCs. And so the base game has 51 trophies for 1,230 points. So that's 1 platinum, 2 gold, 10 silver, and 38 bronze. But then there are 3 DLCs that each add an additional 10 trophies. So
Position confirmed.
That's a lot of.
there end up being all totaled 81 trophies for this game for a total of 1,800 points. And so, like, I know you, for example, are a trophy hunter, and so that just seems like an excessive amount of trophies.
It is
like,
not.
yeah.
Fire in the hole!
Alright, so doing the frag grenade. Let's see.
Pass.
Not well. Did it go well? Oh shit. Oh shit.
These guys
He
make
put
up
his
the
gun
bulk of
through
the
his
allied
back.
forces we've dealt with.
They're well equipped, but their obedience makes them predictable.
Okay, so now I got somebody running at me. 2 people running at me. I've missed both. Oh, okay, so they're automatically shooting because I've set them to do that.
Not good.
Ooh, so much happening. Man, it's fast. I see what you mean about this being like chess. It's like, how well did I plan?
Yeah. It's sort of like you have to know... You have to sort of understand what your enemy is going to do, kind of thing.
Yeah. Ooh, shit. That was cool.
Wow!
That was actually really cool.
Hurt a little.
Okay, so they're not killing me. I guess that's good. Okay, so I blew up the truck. Probably not a good thing. Alright, what do I do here? What do I do? What do I do? Yeah, that's what I do.
No longer a threat.
Promotion earned. Hey.
Closing on
There.
target position now.
And let's kill her. Probably should kill this guy. This is very stressful.
Yes, I found this mission way more stressful than the second mission, let me tell you. And I think it's just because of the, like, mostly just because of the countdown clock on the number of moves that I had.
So I think I just skipped a turn by accident. Kind of sucks. Yeah, I think I skipped a turn.
Adjusting
That's
aim.
unfortunate. I'm still learning.
Rangers are uniquely
contribute to
equipped for
melee
close
text
quarters
action.
combat.
Okay.
In the right situation, it can prove highly effective.
Alright, then let's kill him that way. Here we go.
On my way.
There. Let's slash him. What the hell? Oh, okay. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay. Oh, his death animation is really gross. That's funny. But I'm dead now. I'm totally dead. There's no reason that should have
I'm
missed.
taking fire.
I can see. You must have been so stressed playing this.
Yes.
I mean,
I can tell you're not saying much.
I'm so sorry. I'm watching this
No,
guy,
it's
like,
fine. Like,
burning
I
alive.
want you to be into it, but I
Commander,
just...
the
Yeah,
converter is near collapse. It's about to
Ugh.
blow.
And the thing is, like... Because the first time I played, like I said, I was on, like, the normal difficulty, and, like, I think all my dudes died. No, what happened was I ran out of turns and this thing exploded. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna knock down the difficulty. Is that
okay.
alien dude still, like, flapped there?
I think it must be a glitch, right?
Yeah. And that is actually one of the complaints about this game. There's a lot of weird glitches and, like,
Double time.
yeah.
I'm on fire.
Like, just strange, weird glitches. Not holding the 60 frames per second. And then another thing is, like, the maps don't fully
On my
reveal
way.
themselves. So, like, you can't plan for your tactics well if you shoot a whole map, you know?
Yeah.
Target neutralized.
So,
Running dry.
I got promoted, but this thing's about to explode. Oh man.
Moving
So
out.
I can get there. Alright. Can I hack this thing? Can I hack it? Hack it.
Doesn't hurt to check.
Please tell me. Yeah, get that iPad out. Get that iPad out. Recover a lead on an alien facility or income from the current region is increased. Ooh, let's do the higher chance one. Here we go. I did it.
yeah. did it.
We're active in tow.
Wait, so I did it.
Well
I did the thing.
done. Readings are returning to normal. Well, mostly normal.
Yay, I did the thing.
Firebrand is in
Congratulations, you didn't explode.
Eliminate
Now
all
there's an
remaining
alien
hostiles
monster.
in the area before
Make the alien stop shooting me. He says whiny. Why am I burning alive? Did I do that? Did I like put him in dangerous?
I mean, you're like in the fire, are you not?
Okay, I see that. That's my fault. I'll take the blame on that one. Really? Well, I killed that tree.
Training ammo fast. Orders confirmed. On the move.
You killed the tree.
Man, my people suck at aiming.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Oh yeah, you really did shoot that tree good. Yeah, see now this is less stressful because you don't have the like move counter, so you can take your time killing the dude. Your person is literally on fire.
Yeah, that's my bad. I did it bad.
Understood. Moving out.
Every single one of my people has missed. Every single one of them.
That's so crazy.
Well, I guess I'm just incompetent. Is he running away? Girl. What?
Do you just have the one alien dude left?
Yeah, and I have only 3 people left. Spoilers, I'm sucking at this. This one is still burning. What button combination do I do to stop, drop, and roll? Just asking for a friend.
Yeah, right? I wonder if that's a thing. One of my people definitely died during this mission as well, so.
Okay. Well, I don't remember if it was somebody that I cared about, which sounds terrible. Okay, well, at least I hit it.
Moving to designated position.
Oh, you are kidding
It's
me.
killing time.
I had to reload. Lauren, this game is killing me.
Headed there now.
What?
Goddamn Two-Face. Look at the graph. Yeah, so the physics, the collision detection is not great on this
status
game.
confirmed. Mission
That was a complaint people had.
Yeah.
Wow. So somebody died, and it's saying that I did a good job. Okay.
Your game is glitching so much more than I did. I just saw that guy die, and he like bounced all over the place.
Yeah, he that was one hell of a death scene. That actor was definitely hamming that up.
What the heck?
That's really funny. Oh goodnesses. Well, Operation Stormwalk went. Can't say good. The game said good. I can't say good. 1 hour in, I've done the first level, done the tutorial, and I've only gotten 1 trophy. Interesting. Typically, we see games pace a lot more upfront. Most of the times we've done an episode, we've gotten 2 to 3 trophies at this point.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, I was thinking that too. This is why I had such a hard time. Like, I got this far into the game when I played it, and I had such a hard time with, you know, and I always have such a hard time finding trophies because, like, okay, an hour in, I should have more than 1 trophy. I should have more than 1 trophy. I feel kind of ripped off, and, you know, where do I, like, I don't want to, like, I love doing this with you, Tony. I love playing these games with you, but I don't have all freaking night to sit here and be like, yes, let's play this game for 3 hours before we can finally get a trophy.
Yeah.
Serving as our demolitions experts, the Grenadiers provide heavy ordnance
Okay,
delivery
so
whenever
they're
and
gravely
wherever.
injured. Are they gonna die? I don't. Are they gonna die?
You're like, you got real quiet. I don't know what happened, but I'm having a hard time hearing you.
I'm sorry. I don't know if my guys are gonna die or not. I can't tell.
Oh, so I think what happens is, so they're wounded, but I think they're fine. Like, I think you eventually get the ability to like med kit them.
When you have a moment, Commander, I have made.
Okay, so I completed it. You've gotten this far, right?
Yeah.
Why are you all just standing around?
Let's see here.
It's perfect.
This woman is obsessed with the murder.
Come on, let's get it inside.
Okay. Not loving this cutscene, but okay.
Yeah.
I mean, surely they must have some sort of automatic cart. It seems really silly, but okay.
Commander,
Yeah, you'd think in the future
ongoing
they'd have,
stress of
like,
combat
things
can
that
shake
just
up
sort of
even the
hover.
best of our soldiers. As long as we keep them healthy, I'm sure they'll
Alright,
recover
so
given time.
I scared the bejesus out of one of my guys. Makes sense. Engineering. I do like the
Reload your
space
repulsors
stuff.
with some of the
That's pretty
parts I
cool.
salvaged from their old engine. Should fix that
Yeah,
stabilization problem.
I
you
agree.
had. Come on, Rover. It'll work. Commander,
So,
getting
as
our
is
tech to
normal,
talk to theirs is harder
I'm
than
not
you think.
hearing as much of the music and the voice
Lily
acting
Shen,
as
Chief
you did in your
Engineer,
playthrough, because
at your
in order for
service.
this to work, you know, we can't have
You were
that
probably
feedback. So,
expecting to see me
how
fall.
did you find the music? How did
And
you
all that's
find
happened,
voice
I'm
acting? Was it
guessing
all
Central
kind of
didn't
up to
tell
the
you
standards you expect, or?
He's gone.
Yeah, the voice acting was pretty good. I honestly
Everything he had to
don't
get us
remember
this
the
far.
music at
This
all.
entire
Okay.
ship
And I don't know if that
is
was
his
just me or if
life's
it was just
work.
not memorable or...
I know he would
I
have
don't know.
loved to
Yeah.
show you around the place himself.
Well, sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes it sets the mood and you don't
He used
think
to
about
talk
it.
about you
You know,
a
that's.
lot.
Yeah.
I would say
You
that's a
can be
good
sure
job,
I'm ready
not
to
great
finish
good.
what he started. Might not
If
look
it's
it,
not memorable, you know.
but from here,
Yeah.
I can fabricate pretty much anything you come up with. And with
Yeah,
a
like
little
what is
more
this? This is a
help.
flying
Well,
blue
you'd
tinted
be
hover
amazed
thing, but you
what
didn't
I
have
can do.
a push cart that she could push.
It was an honor
Yeah.
to meet you.
See?
Commander.
Doesn't make sense.
It just seems silly. It seems like they
Can't
write a
promise I'll
scene,
take
they
care
don't
of
really
this,
think
Commander,
about.
But I should be able to put
their
this
world.
together in no time at all.
Yeah, they just thought it would be
I'd
funny
suggest
if
we get
this
started with
chick
the
had
med kit.
difficulty
It'll probably
sleeping
come
and
in handy
they don't
sooner
really
rather
think
than
about.
later. I'm on it, Commander.
Yeah.
Looks like
you know,
Tygan has made progress
That is
on his
unfortunate.
research.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this utility key is being built.
So much of my own research based upon this simple design.
I mean, it's hovering in aura. Okay.
Ah,
I'm not
Commander,
complaining about
excellent
that
timing.
inconsistency.
There's been some progress. I've managed to break down several key components of the chip implanted into your skull. My analysis reveals that its primary function was that of a conduit,
Oh, it's
passing a
USB.
vast amount of data
Okay.
directly to your cerebral cortex. With the primary
brain
connection severed,
key.
much of that data is lost.
Don't
Several
pretend like you don't
fragments do
have one.
remain, however, ghosts, if you will. Observe. Tactical combat simulations, war games. The sheer volume of encounters you were
Graphics
processing
aren't
was
looking for
astounding. It is truly remarkable that you survived as long as you did. Though this may seem disconcerting, there is still some good news. This chip bears a striking resemblance to a medical implant I briefly assisted in developing at the gene therapy clinic in New Providence. My understanding was that the implants were intended for high-ranking Advent officers
There was
only.
more story than I thought there would be.
Captains
I'll give it that.
Retrieving a chip from such an officer
I
would be the
don't, but I don't know
only
if
way
that's a
to
good
know
thing
for
or a
certain.
bad thing.
A greater understanding of
Like,
these
honestly, I
implants
found
will
it kind of
undoubtedly
annoying.
benefit us all, Commander.
It does break up the flow. The flow of this game is
Yeah.
definitely
New objective
watch this,
added.
then play this, then watch this.
Yeah.
There's not. You do not feel like you are flowing nicely from
The
one to the
Advent
next.
officers have clearly
No,
been modified
not at
to
all.
allow for their subordinates to receive new orders psionically. The implanted chip is the key.
Yeah.
The Advent officers appear to be similar, if not physically the same as the common Advent trooper in terms of power and agility. However, field reports indicate a more developed mental
He's also
acuity,
talking
as
through
the
this whole
officers
thing.
do provide tactical directives to the subordinate Advent forces. I do find that area of research
What
to
I
be
think is
among the more
hilarious is that while
intriguing
you're clearly
options
talking to
available.
this guy who's
We'll
standing
begin
right in
work
front of
immediately.
you, they
I'll
don't
send
show
word
his
when a
face
complete
moving.
report is
They
available.
show his little
Looks like Shen
icon
got that
avatar
converter
up at the
and
top
running,
right,
Commander.
and like,
We're ready for you on the bridge.
you know, like you're on comms with him or something. But he's standing right in front of you.
That's really funny. That is funny.
Commander.
Yeah, those little
good.
details, like you couldn't
We got
have done
something
better.
here.
Because what they're doing
Despite
is
all of Advent's
because the
efforts,
game clearly is
we're
so
still
like
able to
there are
refuse to
modules
believe
like
their lies. And it's time
it's,
we let them know
you know,
they're
every
not
map
alone.
generates
We've already
differently.
located a
When you
target
talk to
for our
these
first
guys who
Yeah.
probably have these scripts for each type of research you do, you know, it's all this sort of
Right.
pre-scripted, and so they set it up so that it works in any scenario, but it also makes it so that like in a situation where you're standing in front of them, it just doesn't make sense plot-wise, and it's just frustrating to feel like, oh well, come on, plot should come first.
Yeah, but like, there's not really an excuse for that though, because when you do like Mass Effect, for example, you can have different conversations with the people, and you can choose any one of those options in any order, and they still manage to animate the person standing in front of you talking. You know what I mean?
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Setting course for Sector 12, East
Alright, so I have an
Africa.
airship now. That's cool.
Yeah.
We're ready to start making moves, Commander. By hitting Advent wherever we find them, we can help strengthen the resistance.
Difficulty is
In
easy.
return, they'll
Let's do it.
contribute material and personnel to support our operations. Commander, it looks like Shen
I can
prepped
manage
a med kit
equipment.
for us.
I guess
We
let's
should
do that.
equip one of our soldiers with it before they deploy.
Oh. I think we're good. Should I build items? How many supplies do I have? I can do a med kit, I guess. Let's build a thing. Building a med kit. I did it. Cool. Shall we do this? We should just do this. You can edit this person's inventory. That looks fine. Whatever. What do I know? What's good?
Wait, did you give one of them the med kit?
Oh. No. I guess I should do that. I just can't seem to. How do I...
To like replace
There it is.
like one of yeah.
Nice. So abilities. Sounds good. Wait, did I just load out the people that are not on my team?
No.
Sky Ranger deployed.
The squad is ready to deploy on your order, Commander.
I give my order. Let's do this. You know what I was just thinking? And I know they already made
What?
like 3 Avengers jokes. It would be so cool to have like a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type show where you're on a helicarrier and you go on different missions to like, I don't know, like Wakanda or whatever, and get I don't know, I get this like feel of like, that would be really cool to do that type of
Managed to rig
mission.
up some sort of data interception device
Alright.
through an access
Because you could have
channel
all of
in
your
the Advent
Avengers
network
with like
running
different
through
power
the
sets and like
data
you
is
can move them on the
apparently
map.
critical to
Like,
the
this game would do
latest
very well as
operation.
like literally
They're already moving to
the
destroy
Avengers
the
instead of
device.
this.
We're heading in to make sure that doesn't happen.
It's a
Sure.
great game, and you pass it along to the developers, please, on my behalf. And we're gonna make a lot of money.
So basically just reskin this with Avengers characters and
I mean, I would elevator pitch it better than that, but yes. It's because I just say it because I got this helicarrier vibe from this.
yeah. I get what you're saying. I totally see it.
Cool, cool, cool. A lot of loading screens.
Yeah, that I found really annoying.
So
I mean, I get it, but
and again, it really delineates
Hostile forces are already
cutscenes to
moving to
missions.
destroy the data tap installed nearby.
Yep.
We need to lock down the area and secure the device
I don't want to be
at all
totally down
costs.
because I'm not enjoying myself, but this game's a little boring.
Heading to that location.
yeah. Like, okay. A game like this where you're dealing with alien invasions and having to like disarm bombs and like whatever,
Orders confirmed
maybe
on
not the
move.
best type of game to be turn-based. I want to get in there and like hack some shit and slash some stuff. You know, like I don't want to have to wait my turn to play.
Yeah. Oh, I totally hear you.
Good copy. Moving
Oh,
on
I
target.
learned how to get above
Here's-
the thing.
Yeah, so that's what I had. I had problems with that. Couldn't figure out like when there was like an up, like how do I do the up? And oh, did you just figure it out? You just figured it out.
Moving on target.
You push the up like oh gosh, not the stick, the up button.
On the D-pad?
On
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Good to know. Because I was trying to put my sniper on a roof at some point and I just couldn't figure out how to get her up.
You have a sniper? Do I have a sniper?
I don't know. I don't know if he was a sharpshooter. This is a terrain that I did not see in my playthrough. This
Okay.
like sort of residential type like deserty looking terrain.
No need to ask twice.
Okay, so interesting. I had to protect it, so I really need to get moving.
Yeah. At the beginning I like moved them as far as I
Confirmed.
possibly could, but like still protected them.
She went for me. Sorry, it's not funny. I don't know why.
But another movement-based thing that I had an issue with was that at one point somebody had broken through like a window to get into the building. It was on this mission. They had broken through a window to get into the building where the thing I had to protect was, and when I was trying to like move him to the window, like by the window so he could shoot out it at the aliens,
No need to ask twice.
when I clicked on the inside of the building next to the window, it made him jump through the window, so then he was like standing right next to the alien dude, and I'm like, A, that's not at all where I clicked. B, why would you go through the window when
Yeah,
I'm
that's
telling you to
bullshit.
stop here on this side of the window? I was really annoyed.
you hear
I'm like,
anything?
yo, he gonna die now. Like, that's all there is to it.
Okay, so now I can see that. This is interesting. I mean, it's interesting the way this game. It's not good. I don't know. It's like maybe I just don't know enough how to play this game yet. I mean, I'll get better and better, but I do definitely feel like I'm constantly being punished for not knowing what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, I felt that way too. And, like, I felt like I was being punished for the game's glitches.
position.
And that's really not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that you slowly, like, as you move throughout, you reveal the map. And then you can see, like, as you get closer to where the aliens are, you see their movement.
Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. That ain't good.
That guy's got some beard on him.
Yeah, he does.
Understood. Moving out.
Well, I like that I can climb the thing, and I feel this must have sucked as a level for you because you could not.
But I didn't have this
Covering
level.
now.
Oh, that's right.
My level 2 was completely different. I was in some like, I don't know, there was like a
That's affirmative.
don't even know where I was, but it was all outdoors. There was no buildings, aside from the one where the thing was that I had to protect. So, yeah.
Digging in.
I've also just learned that I can hunker down, which makes a whole lot of sense, and I wish the tutorial had taught me that.
I had told you that, yeah.
I'll jump through windows. Oh,
Yeah.
So funny. 34% chance. I guess I could try. Should I try? No, let's hunker down.
Holding.
They're falling back.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's still moving.
My position's been compromised.
Who is shooting that? Is it like an invisible person? Well, it could be. They're aliens. I don't know. Okay. Let's go here.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about how many trophies there are, and there are quite a few of them. But let's go to our recurring segment that we like to call Trophy Yays and Trophy Nays. So for the Trophy Yay, you have a trophy called Immortal Commander. And for this trophy, you have to complete the game on the Legend difficulty.
Moving.
And for this trophy, it's stackable with Defender of Humanity and Earth Avenged, which I assume are beating the games on lower difficulties. So it right away rewards you to going to the higher difficulty and allows you to earn all of those trophies in one playthrough.
Yeah.
So that's pretty nice, right?
Yeah, you summed it up perfectly. You know, I like when a game, when you have multiple modes, because you know the game wants to accommodate different playstyles,
Moving to Overwatch.
different skill levels. But the game doesn't want to also kind of be like, oh, and if you don't, like, okay, Kingdom Hearts, the original, the 1.5, remake.
Yeah.
They did it so badly. You had to play that game on literally each mode. On the beginner mode, on the novice mode, and on the difficult mode. It didn't matter if you went right to difficult at first. You had to do every mode. What is that? What an awful design.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Because if I can beat it on the hardest mode, clearly I can beat it on the easier two. So why would you punish me? Why would you not just reward me for that right off the bat?
Yeah,
in
this
silly.
game, clearly understands the whole concept of like, listen, if you want to do a difficult mode, go for it, and we'll stack it so that you can get the two others done right off the bat. But if you don't, if you're a novice and you want to, do that instead, that's okay. You'll still get a trophy every time you do it. I think that's great. That's great design. I'm into that.
Yeah, that's really good. I enjoy that. And for the trophy Nay, we have a trophy called Valhalla listed, which is beating the game on Commander Plus difficulty in Iron Man mode. So you have here that the reason you don't like this additional challenge mode, or additional challenge mode trophy, is that
I got eyes on Advent troops.
this mode messed around with your saving scheme. I'm not sure I follow. Let's talk about that. Tell me about that.
Okay, so there's a mode that essentially it switches how often the game saves, and it forces to save much more frequently. And the idea being is that you can't scum save. You can't like say, oh, that map didn't go well for me, and then just like kind of go back to the cloud save and try it again. Because the game basically forces you to do everything without losing people, and like with a constant saving, so that you can't undo what's done. And I get what they're trying to do. I do. And I don't want to be completely against super difficult modes or modes where you have to try to do it in one go. But the thing that frustrates me is that I only have a certain amount of time to game every day. I get distracted all the time. People come, my husband needs me or something, and it's very frustrating to me that the game would then punish me for having a life. Do you know what I mean? So I don't like that.
I get that.
And maybe that's just me as an older gamer who can't dedicate all the time. Maybe this is a me thing, and I need to be a little more accommodating for different playstyles. But I don't like that. I think that, yeah,
Objective in range.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
What are your
Menace 1-5, we've got a line
Now that
on
you've
the target.
explained what
Move
it
to
does,
protect that
yeah, I don't
gear
really
at
like that
all
either.
costs.
Because, you know, I don't play games very often, and when I do, I'm, again, like you said, distracted easily. There's life happening.
Affirmative. Moving
So,
out.
yeah, I think maybe that's just a consequence of, like, where we are in our life. If I was, like, I was sitting had a whole summer off and didn't
No
work a
longer a
job.
threat.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Gonna need to reload
I'll give this a
soon.
go, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, for me being a 35-year-old with a job and other things going on in my life, that's not really conducive to my playstyle.
Okay, so I found this
Shot
guy.
failed to connect.
Okay.
I'm a little confused what I'm supposed to even be doing, to be honest with
Yeah, I didn't really understand this mission either, because once you get to the thing, like, you basically just have to, like, hover around it and kill all the dudes, I think, because there's no,
Okay.
I don't think you can, like, hack it or anything. I think you literally just have to defend it.
Scanning.
you. I'm gonna click on Overwatch. Oh no, it's red. Red music is bad. Yeah, bad. No, the bad guys will go a lot further than you stop this, right?
Advent troops here.
So, we are F. We are F in the A.
Oh, they called more people in.
Thanks. I feel like that's a tiny bit unfair for them to just immediately jump into the action like that.
Oh yeah, it's like, okay, now they all get turns too?
Orders confirmed.
What?
On the move.
Oh well. Look at the death animation is not pretty.
Need a resupply.
No.
On the move.
That guy did the splits and then
Good
like, yeah.
Guns dry.
It's true, it is.
So I have to tell you, you're much better at this game than I am.
On the move.
Oh. Did you, well, you had a different map than I did, so that's not entirely fair.
Yeah, but also just like and also I had problems with like the
Adjusting sights.
like people getting like out from cover because the movement was weird and like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, let me climb through this window
Move
that
into
I
position.
don't at all need to climb through and get shot in the face.
Okay, this seems dumb. I can't like poke my head over and like just shoot down.
Yeah. You mean
up with that?
the guy that's... Yeah, no,
Grenade out.
I agree that's dumb.
Did I do good or bad? Oh, I did good. We burned it.
Incoming fire.
You know, what it is that because there's, you know, we're dealing with vertical height, we're dealing with vertical and horizontal spaces, and I don't think that the game is 100% polished in figuring out what I can see and what they can see. Like, there's no reason the alien should have
Right.
shot at me. There's no chance he would have made that shot, you know? Like, I
Yeah.
appreciate that he didn't, but it also felt like, why would
Right.
he?
Why would he even try?
Roger
He
that.
can't see you. Yeah. Real dumb.
Ugh, I gotta reload. Okay.
Ready to go.
Alright. Reload. Not good.
Rock and roll.
Not good. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for the
Enemies down.
compliment. I appreciate that. I do feel tense in this game. And the thing is that I
Yeah.
feel bored and then tense. Bored and then
Yeah.
tense.
Yeah, there's no like in between where you're just sort of like enjoying it. Really, like it's not bad. It's not a bad game. It's just like there's no in between. It's like you're either like trying to scroll through the stuff that's happening in the ship, or you're like on edge.
Yeah.
My ammo's running low.
How did she? Okay, I'm glad that she did, but again, how did she make that shot?
Status confirmed.
Who's scrolling? Yeah, I don't understand.
No, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it.
Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
Jennifer,
Yeah.
the Canadian. Yeah, there's no way she would have made that.
Oh, that mission went well. This whole, you did this, you did that, is cool, but it needs to compare it to my friends. What's the point of, like, successful percentages of these numbers if I can't compare it to a friend? This game has multiplayer, doesn't it?
It does. It does have a multiplayer mode, but it's not... It's like... You play against each other, I guess, so it's not like you're... It's not co-op.
You know what? I think I had to eat my own words because I guess it would not make much sense. If the game is procedurally generated, then it really is. You can't compare.
Commander.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That mission for me was entirely different than that mission for you. So, like, comparing whatever I would have done
Specialists
wouldn't make
deploy
sense.
robotic drones on the battlefield that can be outfitted for combat or field
Okay,
medic
so
duty.
I got a drone now. Okay, that's cool. Alright, let's promote you. Do I lose anything by promoting? This feels a bit unnecessary that I have to choose this.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I couldn't figure out if you, like, choose their skill sets or if it just gives you the abilities and you're just like, yep, okay, I got it.
No, I think I just get it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Now that we've got some help, we can start clearing out the old equipment and debris from the ship to make room for new facilities.
Alright, so
You
let's...
do have sharp fingers.
To clear out these rooms, first we'll need to assign an engineer to the task. Once we start getting into the far reaches of the ship, it's going to take more time and manpower to make space for new facilities.
Alright, so I just added Sylvia.
Looks good to me. Just give the word and we'll get started, Commander. Excavation is
The
underway,
menus are a tiny
Commander,
bit
but it's
confusing.
going to take some time to get all that stuff cleared out.
Just to figure out, like...
Commander,
what
we
am I
have a
selecting?
secure
How
transmission
am I-
coming
who
through.
am I
Source
selecting?
unknown.
Yeah,
Patching it through
yeah.
to your quarters.
Okay, it wants me in my quarters. Alright, let's go there. So, have you gotten this far? No.
No. Mm-mm.
Hello, Commander.
Oh look, it's the guy from
The
Mass
council
Effect 2.
you once knew is no more. Its membership
Does it not look exactly like him?
sworn loyalty to the Advent
I think I'm a
administration,
little bit behind you.
with
How's that?
one exception. It is good to see you again. In the days since your capture, I have done all I can to aid the resistance.
Oh, you
from
mean like the Shadow Broker?
inside.
Yes, doesn't look
It
just
was
like
these
him.
resistance operatives that
Yeah.
provided the intel.
And it's funny, there's a
leading to your
trophy in this
recent
game called Shadow
extraction.
Broker.
As of now,
I wonder if that's, like,
resistance
intended
forces
to
are
be
currently
a nod,
somewhat
or if they're just...
disorganized.
Yeah, I
If
don't
we
know
are to
because
defeat
like I
Advent
said,
and
their
alien
their
masters,
outfits look
you
like Mass
must
Effect
change this
uniforms.
before it
really
is
does.
too late. What you are
And-
seeing are classified reports
And that's all
of
about an
missing
alien
civilians
invasion,
from
or whatever
across
that
the
game.
world.
Oh look, an alien
Their
EULA.
numbers are growing. We suspect they have been taken to a nearby Advent black site, though its exact
Yeah, you know,
location
there's always
remains unknown.
a fine line between homaging something and just being like, this is popular, let's copy it. And I feel like these guys have they're not straddling that line just right.
Local cells and
Yeah,
bring them
they're
into
like
the
on the
fold.
wrong side of it.
Find this black
slightly
site and
Yeah.
shut it down.
Like, this Shadow Broker thing is a little like, come on, with the sun behind him. I mean,
Yeah.
really?
Commander.
Yeah, it looks exactly like that.
Looks like we better get started, Commander. I'll be on the bridge when you're ready.
Alright, onto the bridge.
Commander, our current position is here, just outside Resistance headquarters.
Okay.
When we're not on the move, this will serve as our home and our source of supplies.
Okay.
The Councilman has tracked the alien black site to this region. Unfortunately, we don't have its exact coordinates yet. If we're going to have any chance of finding this facility, we'll need to make contact with the local resistance.
I don't want to spend 30 minutes listening to a tiny head talking. You know what I mean? Like, make this a cutscene or make it skippable. This is
give him
boring.
time to conduct his research. We shouldn't wait too long on that, Commander.
And I like story. I like feeling motivation for things. I do.
We're going to build
really
a
do.
global
I'm huge
resistance
on
and take on
that. But this is not interesting to have like
New objective added.
a wall of text or like a wall, you know, like the audio equivalent of that. Like, I don't need that. Tell me through something visual or you know, build some characterization. Don't
Looks
don't
like
need
you
that.
won't have time for that just yet, though. Remote reconnaissance may have found something not far from our current
He
position.
literally just told me to do a thing, and then he's like, "Oh, no time for that. Let's do something else."
Avenger plotting new course.
Here, contact these people. Never mind.
Oh, do I have to choose
Commander,
this? Okay, I need to
while we're
complete-
waiting for new missions
We
or
have
the
an officer
completion of our
autopsy
research, we
okay,
can pass
contact
time by
research
scanning at
resistance
sites like this one. On your order, we'll start our scans of the surrounding area.
Okay, let's scan. Oh, days are passing.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm getting do this by June.
Last procedure, Doctor. Central?
Yeah, finish this thing by June. There was another one
Yes,
too.
I find the
forget what it
process
was.
to be far less disconcerting.
Okay, so there is also like a
The results are
strategy element into choosing what you're researching
best
or
you
what
see
you're,
for yourself.
you know, you're mining
An
for.
autopsy of
Which,
the
you know,
Advent captain has confirmed the existence
Mass
of
Effect
an
had the
implant
whole mining of
similar
the
in
planet
design to
thing,
the
but
unit I
it didn't have a
extracted
time
from the
limit. It was
commander.
just spend a bunch of time mining everything.
What kind of differences?
I know, it was like visit every
The
planet
data you
and
see
get
is
every
being pulled
resource you
directly
possibly
from
can
this
because
Advent captain's
I even
implant.
forget why, what the
The
motivation
sequence
is.
here
Yeah,
is
I
essentially
felt you needed to get a certain amount of stuff
or
to
at least the
upgrade
tactical information they were
suits and
processing
ships
through your
and
mind.
stuff.
As you can see,
Yeah.
the data is nearly identical.
They were using you against us.
So I haven't seen this
Yes,
part of the
however,
game.
the
I mean,
Advent
basically
data
what's
shows
unlocking
signs
is,
of decay.
because enough days passed,
Removing
I've
the commander
unlocked the
from the
research
network
portion of
has
this,
likely
which unlocked
caused
this
significant
cutscene.
Right.
damage.
Which is cool, but I don't know, nothing feels like
What we're
I'm
seeing
really
here
doing
is a
anything.
psionic
It feels
network.
like I was told to push X.
These
I know,
implants
you
are
haven't-
capable of
you haven't
receiving
done
and
anything.
transmitting information.
Thank you, that's how I feel. I feel like, I don't feel like this is a
Somehow
reward.
encoded in a stream of psionic energy. My working
It
theory.
all feels random.
Advent uses this
Yeah.
network to
I
augment
agree
the
with you.
tactical readiness of its troops, as well as disseminate orders from its central command.
Like, I almost want to skip ahead to the rating of this because I'm genuinely curious as to how this game is rated. Oh, look, he's glitching out on the table.
Okay, yeah, let's play that game because honestly I don't know when you're gonna get another trophy. Like
Okay.
that's the way this game is constructed. I have no idea. So let's just do the Metacritic rating game, and then we
We
can
need theme
see
music.
how long we've been.
And that would mean
Yeah,
hacking
we
a
definitely
live
need
Advent
some
officer.
theme music for all of our little
Said,
bits.
not easy.
The little game showy.
Still, it's the
Yeah.
best lead we've got.
So,
Commander.
if you're not familiar with how this game works, here's a little rundown. So, I asked
New
Tony
objective
what
added.
he would give the game from 0 to 100. And then I asked him to tell me whether or not he thinks his score is higher or lower than the Metacritic review. And if
We're
you're not
making
familiar with
progress,
Metacritic,
Commander.
they take,
I've updated
they
our
aggregate all the
objectives based on
scores
the
for the
latest
game and give it an
The
average based on
Advent
those
captain
scores.
seems to provide a means
So,
of stabilizing the
um,
link between the local
Tony,
subordinates and
what
the
would you
Advent
give this
network
game?
tower itself.
Commander, if we're going to try
And
to
why?
build this skulljack that Tigan came up with, we're going to need a specialized facility to test it out.
I had assumed you'd make that research a priority.
You know what it is?
Commander.
It's that
Notify
this
you as
game
soon as the
is
report is available.
fun. Like, it's tense and fun. And I know that they've told me the reasons why I'm doing things. And I know that we're talking, so maybe I'm not getting everything. But it just
Right.
feels so weak. It doesn't feel like I really feel motivated to do anything. And the way that they're telling me to do things, it's boring. And I'm bored.
There's room for us to expand our facilities on board the Avenger, Commander. But we'll need more engineers to clear out space for construction
Let's go back to the bridge. So this is tough for me because I do feel like we played enough to really understand what this game is. But I also feel like what they're going to add to this is maybe I'll get to play with a sniper, I'll get to play with a bomber or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to give this a 60. That's as high as I can go. I mean...
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how people will respond to this. Maybe XCOM is this amazing game. I don't know.
Would you say that that's higher or lower than the Metacritic?
We'll start work on the new
Yeah, I don't know. Let's go with a little higher. I'm being rough. Let's say that they're somewhere around... They're under 70, but they're around 70. Let's say that.
Okay. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you the high review and the low review, and then we'll reassess. Okay? So, the high review, the highest score review says, a superb sequel that improves on every aspect of the already excellent original and offers one of the most absorbing and unpredictable strategy experiences ever seen. So that's the high review.
Wow.
The low review says,
that review, like...
And that's from a place called Metro. Yeah. Like, seriously, get a room, you in this game. But that's from an outlet called Metro Game Central, which I'd never heard of. The low review says XCOM 2's console version is a buggy mess cobbled together from a far better game and the worst possible way to experience the game.
Wow.
So they didn't really like the console version, I guess. I wonder how this GC magazine where this review is from felt about the PC version.
Strategic resource located.
But anyway, so having heard those two reviews, do you think you'd like to readjust, or are you still saying they're in the 70s?
No, I'm going to stick exactly where I am. I also want to point out before you tell me, I just got a trophy called Rumor Hunter. Do you want me to talk about that for 1 second?
Yeah, let's talk about Rumor Hunter. So Rumor Hunter you get for completing a rumor, which, let's see, what is a rumor?
Of Advent's operations. The aliens are actively
Rumors are various bonuses that pop up throughout any play of XCOM 2. The rumor rewards are random, but are nearly always specific in what the title of the rumor is. It is also entirely different how rumors appear. I never would have known you got this. You would have been able, because it's random. Entirely random. The fact that you got this trophy is just random. And I kind of think that, I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of like it, but also I kind of hate it.
Here's, and this goes into the score, so I was going to go back to it. I did a bunch of things because the screen was like, do this, that's yellow, that's highlighted, do this. I did all of those things, genuinely thinking that I was progressing the story, and it turns out it was just a side mission that was random. I can't tell what is important and what is not.
The Resistance confirmed it's one of their codes.
Because the plot is so like, everything is like the same kind of monotone level of like, you need to do all these things, that I can't tell. And that's
you don't know what the actual main mission is, yeah. Alright,
sticking with it.
So,
let's see.
Tony, you will be surprised to learn that the Metacritic average is 87.
Shut your face.
87. I'm not even kidding you. This game has 2 100 reviews.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Most of the reviews are in the 90s or high 80s. There's the low score, Tony. The low score was 60.
Wow.
Most of the reviews are in the 80s or 90s.
I can't believe how out of touch I am. That's amazing.
You know, and maybe they got like the people who love this kind of gameplay to review this game, because I sure as shit would not give this game anywhere in the 90s or 80s. Let me tell you that. I hated this game. I mean, and I think it was terrible. I just personally hated the gameplay style.
Yeah. Wow. I don't even know what to say about that. It's too high. It's too high.
Yeah, it is. I agree with you 100%.
Already there.
So, I feel like...
I've got eyes on
what time? How long have we been?
An hour and 39 minutes.
An hour and 40 minutes. What do you think? Time for our last little segment?
Yeah, so I haven't seen the black market. How do you even access that?
Yeah, see, I don't know. And this is the problem that I had because I couldn't get very far into this game because I'm terrible at it. I had no idea. Like, I was just randomly picking a trophy.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm not even... I have no idea. It could be like 6 hours from now. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
I figured it would be pretty early on because it was one of the higher percentage earned trophies, but that, I guess that means nothing.
Well, okay. Yeah. Yeah, let's,
Alright.
let's do it.
Okay. So... Is it worth downloading? Here are some things to keep in mind, Tony. From howlongtobeat.com, it tells us that our time sync for the main story is 30.5 hours. If you want to do the main story with all the extras, it's 42.5 hours. And if you're a completionist and you want to get all 81 of them trophies, you're going to have to play this game for 71 hours.
I can't, how would you play this game for 71 hours?
I couldn't even play this game for 71 minutes.
Like, I'm genuinely ready to be done playing this game. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no. Yep.
It's so tasking.
I understand.
It's so mentally tasking, and it's... I mean, I know I'm talking, but like, it's so...
Yeah.
Like, I feel stressed playing this, and then the times that I should be down when I should be telling me some story, I'm bored. The extremes are so extreme.
Yeah, and I think maybe because... Okay, so maybe it's... You were so stressed out while you're playing the levels. You're super stressed out. And then you want to be able to just, like, sit back and, like, watch a cutscene or whatever, but they throw more stuff at you that you're just like, no, just, I don't want that. It's like, here, read all of these screens.
Yeah.
Orders confirmed.
It does feel like it.
I don't want to read. But anyway, so 71 hours. And then the disk size is 20.33 gigabytes. And this is why I had a hard time installing the game, because it's 20-some gigabytes and my internet is terrible. So, there's that. And it costs, when you're not getting it for free from the PlayStation Plus, it's a whopping $60. Still.
Wow.
So, Tony, is it worth downloading?
No. And I think this is so odd. I think this is the first game that I have said no to. I have to go back. But I really do think it is. I think most of these games we've had a caveat. We've said, oh, if you like this, if you like that. I really think this is not worth the 20 gigs. It's not worth the stress. And what makes me kind of feel bad about saying it is that clearly I am in a minority. Apparently everyone loves this game, and I don't...
Yeah, like everyone and their brother is like all up this game's ass, and I just don't understand it. I really don't. And like, okay, yes, I think there have been times where I've been like, well, you know, put the game in your library, and if you run out of this type of gameplay, like, play this game.
Yeah.
Or like, if you have friends over, this would be a good game for that. This one is just like, don't even bother adding it to your library. Like, just don't.
Roger that.
You know, and it's procedurally generated, which to me means, like, listen, we haven't spent the time developing each map of action to coincide with the story. That's not what this game is. This game is like, here's a reason to enter this procedurally generated map. But even to that means that this is two different games. This is a game that's like, hey, do this strategy stuff. It can be fun. It can be stressful. But then there's like a whole nother game of kind of like a, I don't know, a Mass Effect copy. Am I being weird?
Yeah.
Am I the only one?
No, no, you're not being weird. There's the whole, okay, here's a mission, go, like, here's a crazy map that you've never seen before, figure this out, strategy. That's interesting. But then there's this whole, like, resource management end of it, where you have to, like, decide what order to research things and, like, go find the other things, and it's like, those two things don't mix.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want, like, it's like 100% strategy, top to bottom, right? And at least in something like Mass Effect, where it's like, okay, yeah, there's a strategy here to, like, what order you do the missions in. but the rest of the time it's pure action. It's like you get in there and you're actually pulling the trigger to shoot the people, and like you have to, you know, whatever. This is like, oh yeah, let me click, and then click, and then click. There's no action really.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Not in the way that I would like to see action. Huh?
I'm in complete agreement with you. I really am, and I'm glad that I don't. You know, I don't think you and I have ever disagreed too much on this, so it's not too surprising that you're on the same boat. But I just feel weirded out that so many people like it. I don't know. I feel bad because I don't want to miss something. But what are we missing?
Yeah, I honestly don't see what we're missing. If you're out there and you're watching this and you're like, no, you don't understand XYZ thing about this game, then please enlighten us, because I would really love to know what it is about this game that people like so much.
Yeah, like, I mean, really, you know, it'd be cool if you do it respectfully, but like disagree with us for real, because...
Yeah, oh yeah, please, school us, we want to learn.
Yeah. You know, and this is not my first... I don't think this is like, oh, I should never like this type of game. I have played isometric, turn-based games before. I grew up on Fallout 2. I played Wasteland 2. I liked that game a lot. This game feels like it's disjointed to the point that I don't enjoy it. So I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Well, I hate to do this, but I guess we're gonna have to leave this one on a down note. That sucks.
Yeah. But thank you to everyone who joined us for this XCom video.
Really? Who wrote that?
Silly pun. If you wanted to follow us,
well, you can go on to the PSN network and follow me. My name is Paradox, spelled P-A-I-R-O-D-O-C-S. And please do. I would love to meet other people. I'm a trophy hunter. If I happen to have a trophy that I can help you out, you know, if it's a multiplayer thing, I'm here for it. So definitely hit me up. And how would they follow you?
Awesome. I am on the PlayStation Network, Caustic Sofa, and I would love if you followed me and we played Overwatch. And yeah, I'm terrible at Overwatch. How much fun! So yeah, let's do it up.
I love it. And you've been playing for years, and you are the best player in the world, honestly.
But of course, you can watch all of the 2 episodes, One Gamer back catalog on YouTube. Just look up 2 Gamers, 1 Trophy. That's the number 2, and then number 1. Yep. And then you can join us next week. What are we going to be playing next week?
We're going to be playing the second PS4 title for this month, which is Trials by Fusion. I've done the tiniest bit of research on that, and it looks like it's going to be a fun one. It definitely will produce strong opinions, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. I'm confused by the name, but I guess we'll figure out what that means. Yep. Cool. So join us next week.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.